Hello, everybody. I was going to do a little fishing this weekend, but I guess the only place I could do that at is at the North Carolina beach with the governor. Okay, let me get back to being serious because I'm getting ready to start a great weekend. I enjoyed this week very much and enjoyed talking to each and every single Republican as well as the liberals because I love setting them straight. And also raising hell only that Rutledge can raise hell. Now, I'm sick of this overreaching that's going on nationwide. And that's just what Republicans don't do. Now, I understand that people are concerned about the coronavirus. But guess what I also heard this week that made me actually think about this whole thing and say, okay, there's more crap going on. So, New York, Governor Cuomo, the mobster, decides to say out his mouth because I'm a good person about statistics. And he says, oh, hey, coronavirus was here a long time ago. And then also at the same time period, he says 1 out of 5 New Yorkers had coronavirus. That means if I put the statistics together, it means a whole bunch of people was recovering while the real deadly rate of New York's death was really the same. So now I'm starting to question a lot more motives here about what's going on here. And Republicans, we ain't that stupid. Conservatives, we ain't that stupid. That's why we want, of course, our country to open right back up. And I agree with you. Now, let me get to the math of this. Okay, 1 out of 5 New Yorkers have coronavirus. That means thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people since coronavirus was first alerted, that it first got to New York, has recovered. That means each day, that number from 1 to 5 or each week goes down to 1 to 4 or 1 to 3. So basically, within our lifetime, you have a chance of getting coronavirus. You have a chance of getting cancer. You have a chance of getting the flu. You have the chance of getting pneumonia. Are you getting this, people? So, now, I'm understanding states want to reopen, but there's a whole bunch of liberals talking against it because people want to go back to their life. They smell the BS the way it is. They're not going to play the liberal playbook on this one. We know now this is about the election. This is about mail-in voting. This is about legal immigration. This is about Democrats using coronavirus to pass their agenda. And none of this relates to coronavirus. So, now you want people to stay inside who have bills, who had jobs. Now they are wondering if they're going to have jobs after this is over. So we are penalizing hardworking Americans. We are taking away their constitutional rights. We are closing down small business and destroying the economy. And we all at this time period, liberals are able to sign off executive orders in their localities for illegal immigrants to benefit from services, try to get them a stimulus check, all types of crap that's going on now. And now also trying to extend or postpone elections to reopen a lot of these states right after their election dates. So what does this equal up to Merle Rutledge? What does this equal up to the ordinary citizen? What does this equal up to common sense? This means the coronavirus is a hoax being played on Republicans and conservatives and many more who want to make sure our country stays America and doesn't go to Iran. That's what it kind of boils down to, and that's the BS I'm smelling. So, now, this is my message to other governors across the country because this would be the way I would run and do business. First off, if these liberal cities are crying, moaning, And I would use the other word, but right now I'm feeling like I'm in a good mood after reading out all this BS. If they want to stay closed, let them stay closed in their localities. Put the blame directly on Democrats. Because, see, this is where the reality comes up. Because, see, by you opening up your state for business, it's saying, number one, we ain't playing the Democratic game. Number one. Number two, people are asymptomatic, or however you want to pronounce it. Meaning, you can have this, and it could be transferred to thousands. It doesn't mean thousands going to die, because I'm seeing thousands recover. That's why they ain't reporting that number, because they know if they start reporting it, then people may be light of it or take it as a joke. No, not really. The fact of the matter is, way New York has, quote unquote, brought it out, 1 in 5 New Yorkers had coronavirus. That means in the next 2 weeks, I expect that number to drop to 1 to 3 or whatever it may be. And guess what? They're not going to report how many people recover from this. And they've been doing this because they've been getting the money out of it. That's what it boils down to. They've been profiting off of it. If you see all this back and forth between the House and the Senate with the president, and you see all these pork barrel projects, they have found a way to basically fund their stupidity. So this is what it's all boiling down to. They're funding their stuff while America goes broke. And what I mean about America, I mean everybody in America right now that is suffering from stupidity and the lack of common sense. That's what it is, people. That's the message. So, if I was running my state would be open back for business. And I would tell the liberal cities, and I'll send them off a nice little letter, make sure the secretary types it up all nicely, and say, this is going to be your problem and your mess in your liberal city. Because when those people are out of work, people can't pay rent, they can't pay their bills, they get in their car towed, whatever have you, you can explain to them why coronavirus has did this to them and you didn't have a plan. I think we need to make sure in state of emergency declarations, just to make sure we have an extra protection to make sure stupidity like this doesn't happen in the future. If you're going to declare for the state to shut down or the country to shut down, you better have a plan on how people are going to pay their basic bills. How they going to pay their rent. How they going to pay their mortgage. How they going to pay their utilities. Because you're telling them not to go to work. Then there was more stupidity that happens here. Because one, I ain't about overreach. I'm about smaller and efficient government and government staying out of people's business. I'm sick of it. And this is exactly what this is. Government being everybody's business, and you can't even go to the beach. Let's be honest here. And now we're finding out sunlight kills this thing quickly. So why isn't people or hospitals ordering tanning beds, since that's got UV light, and to let people sit under it? Let's see how well that works. What I'm trying to say, people, we are spending and wasting a whole lot of money. We killing ourselves, killing our economy over stupidity and the lack of common sense. Most politicians ain't going to talk that way. But I talk that way because this has got to be the dumbest crap I have ever seen after having enough time to research the data, research the numbers, and if very little talk about the recovery. We understand that because fear sells. That's what it boils down to. Abortion clinics staying open. Liquor stores staying open so the governor can keep getting his alcohol. Nothing wrong with having to drink, people. Trust me, I ain't against that. But look at the reality of the sense of this matter. Then you can't get garden supplies to put seeds in the ground. And you know, Virginia, we love to farm. You know, my wife picked up a nice little habit. She's doing the gardening thing. I'm from the country. That's what we do. We have apple trees. We have our cabbage out there, the squash, the kale. Oh, it tastes so good. Let me get back to the point, because I started thinking about going back out there, buying a couple of acres, and seeing about farming during this time period just to piss the governor off. But at the same time frame, back to the point, If Republicans are very, very smart about this, you open up your state. Let the localities decide when they open and close. Because this way, their constituents can be pissed off at their leadership while they are at home and America and the rest of the country is going on about business. That's just the way it is. And this way, you don't have Democrats using this situation to go ahead and stab Republicans in the back, especially the ones who saved lives. And a Democrat out of Michigan is getting censured because her life was saved and she thanked President Trump. So you see the BS here? Then a Georgia state senator or whatever he is, I thought that was real dumb to say you was going to resign. Actually, you have nothing to be ashamed of by supporting President Trump and reading through the BS of your own party. I'm glad you changed your mind, but resign is not an option. We got too many stupid liberals still believing in the same crap you used to believe, and somebody got to send out that message, and what better message to send out than from a Georgia senator saying, hey, President Trump is doing the job, handling his business. The reason why he's saying that is because he has seen Democrat after Democrat spit on him. And then after he endorsed President Trump, the whole party decided to jump on him. I would love the day that the whole Democratic Party jumps on my case. They ain't going to do it because they know going after me spills out a whole bunch of beans. And number one, I'm unafraid and fearless. That's just the way it is. So it ain't a political party that's going to have me jump in fear or cry or resign or whatever. I'm going to fight back 20 times harder. And trust me, you don't want that. Now, back to the point. If states, especially Republican states, open up the country, fear will decline, confidence will go up. Citizens will start to see the economy grow. Yes, coronavirus can take people out. Like I said, pneumonia, flu, cancer, AIDS can all take people out. That's just a part of life. You know, tomorrow is not promised, but hopefully God is there with you each and every step of the way, so you make it another day or you go to heaven. One or the other. But that's exactly what comes with life. Everybody has to die someday. But the fact is, you don't have to live on your knees throughout the rest of your life and say, this is how you left America. I'd rather America and patriots let these stupid, cowardly politicians, the career ones, that need the stupid term limits because they're the ones who's worried, and say, hey, why don't you go home? Why don't you resign and let the real patriots take over government so we don't have this cowardly stuff going on? So, if I put these numbers together, and Atlanta mayor, no offense, but what would it look like? And I want you to get that real picture in your head. With the state opening up, the governor say, hey, you can stay closed, and you staying closed. And all those citizens looking at you while everybody else is going to the beach, going about their business, going to work, paying their bills. Why are you going to tell them citizens how they going to pay their rent, how they going to pay their utilities, how they going to pay their mortgage, how they going to handle business? Guess what? All those citizens ain't going to be looking at President Trump. They're going to be looking at directly at you. That's what it boils down to. We got to play strategy and play to win. But at the same time frame, we got to make sure we educate voters on in regards to this type of crap. Because that's what's happening. We have overreach of government. That's what this is. We have Democrats enjoying socialism. And they're trying to train people. That's why you keep hearing like Governor Northam of Virginia, the idiot, talking about this is the new normal. What stupid governor is going to say this is the new normal and be satisfied with it? Not me, but not any other Republican, because guess what? We don't have a socialist mindset. That doesn't work too well for real Americans. That may work well for illegals who have been going through socialism most of their lives. So guess what? But they're coming to America, trying to get into America because socialism obviously didn't work. So why is illegals coming to America for socialism and they left their own area for socialism? So to me, it doesn't make no kind of sense, except for the fact that illegals could try to win you the election. Mail-in voting could try to win your election. The IRS is sending out stimulus checks to dead people. So until we start straightening out America, until we start straightening out our own state, we don't have any kind of budget for states to handle other countries' problems. America can't afford to be closed any longer. And like I said, if you put the weight on those local Democratic officials in those big cities and say, if you want to stay closed, you stay closed. This way, the finger and everybody's eyes, since they love the TV, is paying attention to them. Let their constituents burn them at the stake. As far as the rest of America and patriots, we want to get back to work. We want to get back to doing our job, handling our business, and taking care of our bills. But honestly, no more state of emergency should ever be declared. And that's a way to stop this stupidity, because they don't have a plan for what people are really going to do with their bills, because the money they got now is for debt collectors, not for, oh, I need to go to the grocery store so I can put food on the table. Or, hey, I got insulin I need and I can't afford, I got to decide whether I put food on the table or I live another day. The fact is, we are making life to death decisions right now. Imagine the mental mindset at that time period to decide whether you live or die, whether you eat or go hungry or whatever, and you have no way to decide your own outcome. That's the point of having opportunity in the pursuit of happiness, not being limited by a government through overreach. So Republican governors, go back into your creed. We don't overreach to this point. Now that's across to let localities burn. But the fact is, we shouldn't be doing it for them. Because right now, we have everybody looking at Republicans and President Trump like we want to keep the country closed and want the economy to go down, don't want to do anything, when it's really local leaders in their particular cities and towns who are closed that really should have the finger pointed at them. But if we keep having our states closed, we're going to keep taking the blunt and pressure of this whole thing. And then when November 2020, instead of us setting this country right, we're going to have Democrats going ahead and flushing the whole country down the toilet. That's what it equals up to, people. Yes, politicians don't talk like this, but I'm giving you the straight facts. It ain't hard to put this stuff together and see what's going on. See every day when you walk out the door, every time bring you on the TV screen, who are they trying to criticize? Who are they trying to slam? Who are they trying to promote is causing this whole country to go to hell? And the fact is, they are blaming President Trump, Republicans, and all of that crap on MSNBC, Don Lemon, all that crap. I can't wait to be on his show. I told him I'm going to make sure I got a special type of interview for you. But as far as it's concerned, you open up the states, localities, give them a choice. You can open or you can close. Watch how many citizens turn against those local governments. And we keep saying that's what happens when you have Democrats leading your state. You're going to get a coward response where our constitutional rights is taken over. But here in the Republican states and those ran by Republican leaderships, we don't overreach. We fight back. And that's the message we need to send. We need to send confidence to those Democrats and liberals who are undecided, confused right now, and say to them, this is the truth of the matter. So you can go ahead and vote for the stupid politicians y'all keep voting for, and you won't even see a new doorknob on the school building. Or you can go with the Republican Party, who's going to set it straight, show you the reality of you being blinded. And like that Georgia senator said, I got off the plantation. But what the first thing you should have just said, I woke up from a damn Democratic nightmare. We understand. We all been there. And you haven't been there, then obviously you need to figure it out, especially if you're a candidate campaigning, because realistically, this is the message we need to start sending. We are not going to overreach. We are not going to give up our constitutional rights. We're going to take care of country first. We can't worry about illegals because now we got the biggest mess ever. But how in the world can the economy be destroyed? Ask yourself this, Democrats and liberals. How can the economy be destroyed? But Democrats is trying to find money in broke America for illegals. Answer that question. That's because if they purge you and get illegals to do what they want you to do, those crooked elitist Democrats who decide that, hey, I'm glad that if the country opens up, AOC, I don't even pronounce her full name because I don't like her, says, hey, don't go back to work after you're allowed to go back to work. But one of the things you got to understand about all these elitist Democrats that are spoiled, they're just spoiled. They are guaranteed their check every month. They guaranteed. But you're not. So ask AOC, since I don't want to show up to work, I want to follow your lead. I want to stay on the couch. Can you tell me how I'm going to pay my bills? I guess she'll say, well, through socialism. That ain't the reality of America. America doesn't like shit handed to them. So this is Merle Rutledge, the 2021 anti-politician, no longer business as usual Republican, ain't the typical one, running for governor of Virginia, giving you the real talk.